How y'all doing? I'm Josh J. Hawk Hawkins.
I'm Tim This That Large, and this is Evil Things with the Lion of Wall Street.
All right, y'all. So, the idea behind this is I wanted to do something like a talk show format.
Yeah.
Talk show meets podcast type thing. So we'll be kind of running various ideas, and this is our first attempt at doing this.
It's kind of an old idea we had. An
old
idea we've had for a long time. We've been putting off doing.
Right, I've had this idea for a very long time, a couple of years now, actually. And it originally started as a podcast.
Yeah.
Where I wanted to discuss like comic books and wrestling and vinyl, and,
just any topic of interest to us. Yeah. Really was the idea.
So anything of pop culture that I guess that we're into. So I've been wanting to do that for a very long time, but life and being in this band is very busy. So we just haven't really gotten to it.
That's pretty much it. We pretty much just haven't gotten to it, really. It's something that we've been passionate about for a while. We just haven't gotten to it. I mean, there's really nothing else to say.
The true purpose is, one, I think, not necessarily this specific one. This is Duke, y'all, by the way. Not necessarily this specific episode. But I think we want to discuss, first off, what coffee we're drinking.
Yes.
I think we kind of do want to make that a part of the episodes. We're both avid coffee drinkers.
Black, of course.
Black. And it really just depends on what. Do you want to get into this? Do you want to talk about what you get at specific places? Because I have very specific things that I order.
All right. Well, what's your go-to drink? Because I have a go-to drink if I go to a coffee shop, especially one I've never been to. It's this drink every time. That's it.
Okay. So if I'm at a coffee shop where I'm sitting down and they give you the actual mug itself, like it's an actual mug.
Yeah, not a to-go.
Not a to-go thing. It's not Starbucks,
Yeah.
If I'm at an actual coffee shop where I'm sitting down and it's a date with my wife or something, I order an Americano.
Yeah. That's right, I knew that. Yeah. I forgot, but I knew that.
Yeah,
You've
so
been ordering Americanos for a long time.
Yeah, years. Yeah, so that's always been my go-to when I sit down. I don't order it any other time, and I like the fact that I don't do that.
So if you're getting drive-through at Starbucks, you would never get that.
Never. No.
It's too hot.
It's way too hot.
Yeah, you can't drink that in the car. It's too hot.
And I love to sit down with it and take sips of it. It's such a strong and bold flavor that you have to sit down with it.
Yeah. So my go-to drink is a red eye, which if you're not familiar,
what's your go-to drink whenever you're sitting down, like almost at a coffee shop?
Okay.
I'm referring to.
Well, it's pretty much the same. I'm gonna get a red. If I'm getting a hot drink during the summer, we're in Houston, mind you. It's 100-something degrees in the summer. I'm not getting a hot coffee. I'm not doing it.
No.
So I'll get like an iced latte or whatever I get. But hot coffee, I want a red eye. 99% of the time. Now, this depends because, by the way, a red eye is just a black coffee with a shot of espresso in it. That's all it is.
And to go back, an Americano is just 2 shots of espresso
in hot water.
With steamed water.
Yeah, with hot water, exactly. So it's kind of just like drinking really strong coffee, really, but it gets you really hyper because the caffeine content is high. That's a red eye, and like you said, if you're on a date, if you're spending time, then an Americano is perfect because you can take your time with it, and that's what a red eye is great for. But if
it really helps to like break up, like you're sitting down and you're sipping it slowly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It helps.
You kind of have something to do.
You let a moment land with it. Like I'm saying something and then I go. Anyway,
there you go.
So it really helps to like have a moment land.
Yeah. Well, I go back and forth between that and just a shot of espresso. Usually, I'll just get a double espresso. Which is probably my favorite coffee beverage to have is an espresso shot.
So
just plain.
So dark.
And I think we're both sick right now, if you can't tell.
Yeah, we're actually both.
Yeah.
Both pretty sick.
So, but the thing with the espresso shot is you're paying full price and it's gone in 15 seconds. You kind of just have to drink it and it's over. So if you're going to sit down and you're hanging out for a while, Everybody's drinking coffee but you. And that's a problem.
Yeah, but it takes so long because it's so hot.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but the longer you wait, the more bitter it gets. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to stick with red eye. A red eye is my drink. I always try to get people in on red eyes, people that never had one, and I always try to get them in on it. I got a bunch of people I work with in on it, and now that's their go-to drink too. So if you never had one.
I first had a red eye because of Forrest.
Really?
I think Forrest was the person who turned me onto it.
Yeah, Forrest is a fellow black coffee drinker as well.
Yes, yeah.
Shout out to Forrest, of course.
A good friend of ours. He actually used to be kind of like a tour manager for us at some points and everything. So I think he was the first person that was like.
Maybe that's where I got it from. I mean,
I think
it could be.
I think it might have been. Yeah.
It could be. I don't know. I mean, I've been drinking them so long, I don't even remember really.
Yeah. So, but anyways, when I'm on the go in ordering coffee, right now I'm super big on soy lattes.
Iced?
No.
Well, because it's cold outside.
Because when it's hot outside, I will get just straight up iced coffee or cold brew coffee.
I mean, typically if I'm on the go, that's
there
what
is
I want.
a difference.
You know, you can just drink it. With hot coffee, you kind of got to blow in it and be careful. You know.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from the experience when you're walking around and doing stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so yeah, if I'm on the go, it's either an iced coffee or a cold brew coffee, which I was just saying there actually is a difference there.
Yeah, for sure.
I always find too that when I have cold brew coffee, I'm a lot the caffeine feels more bouncy.
You said
it makes me feel more like jittery, not in a bad way. You know, like what's the word I'm looking for here? Almost a hyper, or there's a little bit more of a hype feeling. You know.
Yeah.
Than having just iced coffee, which is just taking coffee they've already made and pouring it over ice. Cold brew is made a completely different way.
I wonder if that is a thing.
And then I'll usually just add soy milk. I'm vegan, so everything I do, I have to kind of analyze. But honestly, and I'm just going to go into a quick thing about being vegan real quick. There's several different types of milks. For vegans, there's obviously the most popular is probably soy, coconut, and almond. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of coffee shops are doing oat milk now.
Oat milk, yes.
Lots of coffee shops are doing oat milk.
Funny enough, I haven't tried it, and you have.
And I hated it.
Yeah, and you're not vegan.
And I hate milk, mind you. I won't drink milk I don't put milk in cereal. It's soy or almond or whatever only.
I quit milk before I went vegan.
Yeah.
I quit dairy before I went vegan.
Yeah.
So for several reasons, we don't have to go into that right now. Maybe on another episode I do another show called Being Vegan on Tour.
Yeah.
And so go and check those out. But maybe sometime I'll explain, some of that issue, why I quit dairy specifically before even going vegan. Honestly, okay,
we're going on a tangent here.
A small tangent, yeah. But just real quick, I find that the best milk actually is soy milk. It blends better than the rest of them. Almond milk, you taste that
the nutty flavor.
Flavor. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Almond milk's really strong, which is why I like almond milk with cereal.
I love almond milk
because I like how do you say like a health cereal kind of like I don't know, Honey Bunches of Oats, for example. I like cereals that are less sugary, like that will have almonds in them or grains or oats or whatever. And almond milk is perfect for those because it blends with the flavors that are already there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like soy milk is the best blend of things.
Yeah, you can't really taste it very much.
Yeah, you just get kind of a creamy texture to it.
Yeah, it's kind of the closest to milk.
So that's the reason I go for it, because you can't taste the almond, and then I always find the coconut milk, I don't ever enjoy it.
I just don't coconut anything.
I don't ever enjoy it.
It's got coconut on it. I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Anyways, what we were doing is we were talking about what we want this show to be. And what we want this show to be is we want to just talk about things that interest us and hopefully not only entertain the viewer, but share things with the viewer that you might not have known about our band, because this is the Line of Wall Street Music page, or YouTube page, excuse me. So we'll share things about the band, sure, to keep it true to what we're actually doing here. But at the same time, like, we could talk about music, movies, comics, anything, and hopefully
Anything evil.
Yeah, anything evil, and hopefully share things with the prospective viewer, and just share our interests. Really.
I also hope that you get to learn. We, as a group of people, we've always had this kind of weird language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between each other, and so when I say something evil, and he just immediately understands that means dope, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for us, that's kind of what evil things is.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with coffee. Hopefully, talking a little bit about a coffee, not go off on such a wild tangent like we did, but honestly, I love talking about coffee, so that's okay.
Yeah, but for this being a first episode, and we're kind of just experimenting. We have a basic outline of what we want to create as far as content is concerned, and we just want to be open and honest with what we are trying to accomplish.
And then hopefully we'll take 2 subjects. So we'll do the coffee and then 2 separate subjects. And so for today, after coffee, after the tangent, after everything we've already discussed, the first subject that we have today was obviously introducing the show.
Yes.
So coffee, introducing this new format, this new thing that we're doing, Evil Things. And then now we're moving on to our second subject. I think it's time, at least.
I think we've gone on long enough.
Okay, good. Right on. I'm glad we're in agreement.
Yeah.
And then, so our second subject today is going to be our first record. It is called Sidewalk Slam. We released it in October of 2008.
Yeah.
I was correct. It actually says that on the back.
Yeah, we literally printed October 2008, which I still think was a good idea. Because I've done that with CDs, like, let me pick up this record by whatever band. I'm not going to just pick a band. And they're like, when did this come out? This was their second record. And you look at the back and on the CD and little tiny copyright 2006 or whatever, and it's always difficult to see. So I don't know whose idea it was, but looking back on it, I'm thinking that was my idea to put October 2008. That's when we did it.
I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but there is like a fine print. It's probably better if you hold it. I have such jittery hands, but
maybe we could zoom it in there. And it literally says October 2008. Which I still think
this is also a good opportunity to talk about the fact that is put out on This That Records, which is where you get the name Tim This That from.
That's right.
And that is your record label / kind of our
our. Well, how about it was my record label, and it kind of just became our record label. Long story short, we were starting out, and we didn't have a record label, And we just eventually said, what do we need a record label for? What are they going to do? What does it matter? We'll put out our own record. Just taking influence from all the old hardcore bands, Minor Threat and Flag, and so on and so on. And we said, we'll literally record ourselves. We'll press the record ourselves. And we'll have a plant do it. You can't just press a record at home. And we'll literally go to Kinko's and print out the sleeve.
Oh, we did do that.
Yeah.
We went
or FedEx or whatever place we went to. And we ordered these online. There's websites that sell them. We ordered the white sleeves here, and we hand-numbered them ourselves. This is actually my personal copy. This is number 1 out of 300. That might be hard to see, but...
I think I have number 3.
Really?
And,
yeah.
Our old drummer,
Teddy.
I think he has number 2.
Yeah, and we literally just printed these, and places like Kinko's and stuff, they'll cut them for you. So we didn't cut them, and we had to fold them ourselves, and we would just use a credit card and do it and put it all together.
Yeah, we did this by hand in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Sitting down on the floor. It was a very cool moment, too.
Yeah, it was. This is Josh's tattoo, and then this is a picture of my hands, which is right here. And it says This That, which at the time was my perspective record label. I'm going to start a record label and start putting out records, and it didn't really go too far. I guess I put out 2 records.
It kind of more became the Lion of Wall Street record.
Which would have been this, number 1, and then I did another local band's record, and that was a whole vinyl, CD, poster, everything release. And then after that, it kind of just fell apart. Really, it was just expensive and so on. And then whenever the Lion of Wall Street did another record, we made sure to put it out on This That Records. And then when we did another record, same thing, and another record, same thing, and it really just kind of became, oh well, we're on This That Records. That's our label. You know, I mean, it's not just a picture on the bottom of our records, which is right here. It's more it's kind of a way to catalog ourselves. You know, like from this time to this time, we were on This That Records. That's the label that we used to put out our records. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's really what it is. It's a kind of a cataloging thing, you know, and it meant something to us, and it still does. And when we put out records, we make sure to put that on there for sure, you know.
Yeah. Taking a step backwards, that tattoo right there that is on my side here, that's actually across my ribs. That's a personal picture of my kind of rib / you know, gross stomach. That actually is the original artwork that we got the idea from.
For the name.
For the name, The Lion of Wall Street. There's a book called The Lion of Wall Street, and obviously there's that terrible movie called The Wolf of Wall Street, but that actually was just a personal drawing that a friend of ours did, and it just kind of came from a really fun night that we all had.
Yeah, it might be hard to see because, you know, we're far back, but it's a drawing of a lion wearing a business suit.
Yeah, it's like a realism drawing of a lion's head,
yeah.
And then underneath it's like there's like a suit, you know, it's wearing like a business suit, and we found it in some of his personal drawings as we were all hanging out one night, and it cracked up everybody to death because he had written The Lion of Wall Street on the side of it, and honestly, even I think that night, because you and I were in separate bands a lot of times,
yeah.
I think even that night we were kind of like, well, if we ever do something together, we have to name it that.
Yeah, next band we're in, it's called The Lion of Wall Street, kind of
exactly.
thing. And thus the name was born.
So that's where we get the name The Lion of Wall Street. So, yeah, I don't think we've ever explained that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, because I've had people ask us if it's after the book. And then obviously now, I mean, this was 2006, 7, whatever year it was. Now people might say, oh, you mean like the movie The Wolf of Wall Street? And we're like, yeah, but 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
Literally.
It was a long time before that movie came out, yeah. So, yeah, this is the first record. Let's get to the actual...
6 tracks or 5?
There's 6. There's 3 on side A, 3 on side B. And like he said, we actually just went to Kinko's for this. Or it was either Kinko's or
one of those. Yeah,
exactly. And we hand measured like one of your 7 inches.
Yeah,
I mean, we took like a ruler, laid it down.
Extremely amateur.
Yeah, exactly. We had no idea what we were doing,
but we pulled it off though because it actually looks. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really know that we did that.
And it's not just paper; it's like cardstock.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
Like you can hear it from me flicking it, flicking it. So side A is Think Fast, Payback, and Juvenile. That is 3 of the, maybe some of the first few songs we ever wrote.
Yeah.
Especially Juvenile. I can remember that.
Yeah, that's probably up there in the top 3. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, some of the first songs that we ever wrote. I think the only song really that people would remember from this record was the first track,
Think Fast.
Think Fast. Yeah. We played Payback.
Kind of a funny story.
We played Payback in sparsely,
throughout our career.
Yeah, throughout. Yeah. We don't play any of these tracks anymore. Actually, 0 of them. We don't play any of them. Yeah. But we've always had a very strong connection to that opening track, Think Fast. I don't know how much we want to get into that.
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to say, Think Fast was the song that made, how do you say, it kind of just got us where we are. Because, you're a local band, you're playing a few shows, and no one really cares. But then we wrote Think Fast, and it was just on a very small level, of course, it was like we blew up. People knew the lyrics to it. People would sing to it. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, so this came out in October 2008, as we discussed. And I remember we played a show with a bunch of bands that were, we are from the south side of Houston, and we played a show with a bunch of bands that were from the north side.
Yeah.
And they had heard the record, and we played Think Fast that night, but we put it in the middle of the set. We did not look at it as this song that felt...
Yeah, it's funny. When we wrote it, it was like, well, let's write a song. I have this riff. I mean, we kind of put it together, and all of us in the band at the time were like, it's okay.
Yeah.
We needed songs. And I remember thinking, I have these lyrics written.
Yeah, that's actually kind of exactly what happened. You just kind of had this scrap of...
Yeah, just a scrap of lyrics, and it was like, well, we can use this, and...
Yeah.
Even after we wrote it, we're like, I mean, that's a cool song, we'll keep it. Like, we never thought much of it.
Yeah, exactly. I had written the guitar for that whole song, and I liked the opening part, which I think is still probably the only good part of the song, really. I wanted one of those riffs where, it had that traditional kind of slidey feeling, dan it,
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I came up with the idea for that opening of Think Fast. But yeah, we played this random show with a bunch of bands from the north side, and as soon as we went into that song, it was like that was the one everybody had been waiting for.
Yeah.
And it was this really kind of, eye-opening moment. You know what I mean? Like, I still remember that to this day. It's still a really nice memory for me, being in this band. Just realizing, oh my God, like we wrote a song that everybody knew all the lyrics to.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, like it had just never happened for us before. And, so after that, we started ending on that song, and it ended up becoming this very special track.
It kind of became our single, or our hit, if you will,
Yeah, it was kind of the song we had to play if we were playing the show. It's the only song people wanted to hear, to some extent. And honestly, it did a lot for us in 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. There was a very good set of years in those couple of years where not a lot of Houston bands were doing as much, Yeah. A lot of like Houston and Texas hardcore
had broken up.
Yeah. And there really wasn't many people flying the Houston flag, as it were. And I think Fast really helped us to continue to kind of carry Houston with us, because we were touring at that point too. And I remember showing up to a place, where was that? New Mexico. We were playing in New Mexico. And one of the coolest moments was this guy came up to me. I think he was with like his little brother or something along those lines. And he was like, I remember he was like talking to me, and he kind of bumped his little brother, and he's like, hey, tell him. And I was like, I'm kind of like looking at him like, I don't know what's happening here. And his little brother was like, just asked me, are y'all going to play Think Fast tonight? And I just started laughing, because it was kind of like, yeah, we're going to play Think Fast. You know what I mean? Like, and
that was the show that was at that storage unit.
Yeah, we played a show at the storage unit.
It was like that was the show that the cops pulled us out of the van.
Yes, that's another really good
We've never been there before. We pull up to a storage unit, literally.
Mind you, there's
storage unit.
14 of us in the van. 14.
Was there really? Jesus Christ! I don't remember that.
We toured with Cannonball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They had so many people with them.
Yeah, we had so many people with us. Yeah.
We had a couple of extra people with us. There were 14 of us touring in their van. I remember that number for some odd reason. It might have been like 12, but for some reason 14 just really sticks out in my head.
Yeah, we pulled up to the venue. Well, not the venue. It was literally an outdoor, like a U-Haul storage unit, kind of, whatever they call them. And we pull up, and cops start banging on the door, throw the door open. They got guns pointed at us. New Mexico police. and everybody got out of the car, whatever they said, I don't remember. And I guess something had happened in the area that night, and they were looking for somebody, and they thought we were them.
They thought that I guess the guy that they were looking for was in our van.
Oh, okay, so that might.
And then since there were so many of us, they had to have guns on all of us drawn.
Yeah.
You know, and there's literally
Scary.
14 of us
That's
in a row with our hands up.
Yeah.
And them checking all of our
Yeah.
IDs one at a time, and this whole thing because some person had escaped, and or I don't know the situation.
Yeah, whatever had happened. Yeah. And we played outside in front of a store, and I remember we wanted to play inside the actual unit, which is a very small, like basically the size of a one-car garage. And there was a good amount of people there, but there was a small enough amount of people for everyone to have fit in. Really cramped, mind you, but it would have been amazing.
Yeah,
you know, but
and
nobody
we got
else
outvoted. We got outvoted. We were like,
we got
this is going to
outvoted,
look unbelievable.
Which happens every time we're out on tour somewhere and something really punk is about to happen. We get outvoted every single time. Every single time.
I'm always a yay in that.
Yeah, me too.
You know, in that sense, and that would have been unbelievable and made the whole thing so much better. But another fact about that show that I do want to bring up is at the very end when we went into Think Fast, the cops were coming to shut down the show. Mm-hmm. I remember watching them in the parking lot. They were coming to the show, and you were talking and you didn't see them. And so I saw them and I started tapping everybody, you know, really pushing everybody.
Yeah.
You know, there was I think about Eric and Mo. Was Mo in the band?
I think Mo was in the band.
No. It was me and Brett was filling in. I was playing guitar and Brett was filling in on bass.
Wouldn't you have been in the cast at that time?
No. This was another tour.
Okay.
him.
I have the worst memory. I have the worst memory.
Yeah, it's horrible. I have a really horrible short-term memory, but a decent long-term. So
I can't remember which way is up.
So I start hitting everybody like, go into it now.
Start.
And Tim is in the middle of a speech, and so he doesn't really get why I'm trying to do this so badly. Yeah. But the cops are coming up, and thank God, you know, I look at Eric, and he knows to.
It just starts,
you know, to start the song. We do 2 hi-hat hits, like, tss, tss, you know, and then we kind of go into the song, whatever. And those cops saw everybody jump on top of us. Because once again, it was that song. Everybody
it was the Dogpile song because the first lyrics.
Yeah,
you know,
it just has
don't try and stop it. It's very singable.
Yeah,
having heard it once, you know all the words. It's one of those, which is what's funny that we were like, I guess this song is okay. But now listening to it, it's like, no, it kind of makes sense why this was the favorite. It's very simple and very easy to know. Oh, I remember that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can know all the words. You know?
It's one of those that when you hear it the first time, you know all of the lyrics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know.
So it was kind of the Dogpile song, you know.
And they saw this giant dog pile begin, and they all just stopped dead in their tracks. Mm-hmm. It's like 4 police officers walking up, and they saw everybody just go into a frenzy right at that exact second. I'm literally watching them playing guitar, hoping we can at least do half of the fucking song. Damn it. Hoping we can at least do half of the song, and then they see this giant frenzy happen, and they just stopped.
Yeah.
And I could kind of see them actually, and thank God, I could see them actually start smiling. You know, like, they were kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? You know, so we did end up getting to play the song, and then
that was it. I guess we were the last band of the night.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to imagine a storage unit. A bunch of garages side by side and a parking lot in between all the garages making like a U or a circle shape, and there was probably a generator, like a gas generator there that we were all plugged into. It was the middle of the night. It was I don't know how we got in there. I don't know. Maybe one of the kids in one of the local bands' dad worked there or something. Because looking back, I was like, how did we play a show there in the parking lot of this place? You know, like
I mean, we're getting off into the tangent of this specific show, but I think the point that we're really trying to make is that really for the beginning of the couple of years that we were a band, the first 4 years or so, the first 4 years, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But,
we lived off of, we ate off of Think Fast.
Think Fast is the house that, or I mean, I should say, the Lion of Wall Street is the house that
Think Fast built. Yeah.
That we lived and breathed on that song. So I appreciate it. I hope that we get to play it one more time at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't.
We don't though. We don't play it.
We don't play it, and I don't really plan on it. It would be nice if there was some old friends at one show.
It really doesn't fit our sound anymore.
No, not in the least bit.
It really doesn't make sense for us to play. We're not
the whole record,
really that kind of band anymore.
The whole record doesn't make sense for us to play anymore, which is why we don't play it. It would be nice.
It's a punk record.
It would be nice to
it's
retire it and give it like a send off or something, But we haven't played it in like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So I really don't see that happening.
And on top of that, we also don't play it because this sold out. So we never repressed it. We never put it out as a CD, a tape, nothing. We made 307 inches. We sold all of them, and that's it.
You might be able to find it illegally to download on the internet.
Hey,
somewhere.
you know what though? We actually went to Vegas for his wedding I guess it was a little over a year ago now, and we always go to record stores around town, and we went to a record store in Vegas whose name I can't recall, and they were selling it there. We were like, "What the hell? This is awesome!"
Yeah, we took.
So that was kind of funny.
We took some pictures with it.
Yeah.
We posted it from our Instagram. Which
So
is,
basically, someone in Vegas doesn't like us, and they got rid of their copy. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. So as exciting as it was, it's also kind of like, hey. But anyways, there actually is a picture of us like holding it up, and I like lifted up my tattoo, and it's on our, and you get to see it like next to us or whatever. And that's on our Instagram, which is @TheLionOfWallStreet _
Yeah. Speaking of tattoos, our original drummer Teddy, shout out to Teddy, has this tattooed on his neck. So.
He does, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks
I think
great.
the tattoo looks better than the
and
record cover
this is a good transition into the artwork on the front cover. This was done by our tattoo artist Chris Ayala out in Houston. Shout out to Chris at Scorpion Studios, and he drew this. I mean, this was 2008. This was a long time ago, and he drew this with a Sharpie. Literally drew it with the Sharpie, signed the bottom of it, and it's what we used for our record cover. And we have the original.
I think we may have given him like $50.
Yeah, we gave him like $50, And
hey, can you just draw us like a cool?
Yeah, and he ended up tattooing it on Teddy's neck. What I'm talking about. He actually did his side and my knuckles, so the whole thing is all his artwork, really.
Actually, the entire.
Yeah, and then we have the original one. If you want to do the honors.
I have this framed. This is actually his original artwork for it. I framed it. I keep it at my house.
Yes.
Since I didn't actually get to get the number one because this dude did. I had claimed the original, the original artwork. So I do have this framed. Shout out to Chris Ayala, for doing this for us. And I love having this piece of art in my house. It reminds me of the hard work we put into this record, and
it's old now, but I mean, it really is. It's a piece of our history, and it's important.
Yeah, man. I love having this original like artwork here. You get to see a little bit more of like the detail, like the gray and all that and stuff. And
if I'm not mistaken, it's all done with the Sharpie.
I don't specifically recall.
I'm pretty sure I remember he did it all with the Sharpie. Kind of on the spot.
That's wild. But he just drew that. I think like right on the spot, like one sitting or something like that. But getting back to sort of the tracks, we can kind of go through them a little bit quickly. The first 4 were recorded at Origin Sound. What was that? What it's called? Origin Sound.
Yeah, Origin Sound with
Craig Douglas, who's actually still the guy that we still record with.
Yeah,
he's with another company now called Southwing Audio. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go and check them out here in Houston, they've put out some incredible work. He actually did. Bitter End's Climate of Fear, which...
Yeah, well, he's done all the Bitter End records.
Exactly.
Charged, and the new one, I can't remember.
Well, I guess I just harp on Climate of Fear because that's just
it's the best.
One of the best hardcore records I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, ever heard,
so and he did that record, and so for us it was kind of like, oh, this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
So we stick with him.
That's why we went to him.
But that's
No,
how
we
those.
recorded this before they recorded Climate of Fear.
Yeah, I think
We went there because he just did a lot of Houston hardcore. You know,
Oh.
Will to Live, 10 Crowns, all that stuff.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Was this was before Climate of Fear? I don't
Well,
know.
Climate of Fear came out in 2007, for sure. This came out in 2008. But I'm pretty sure that we recorded that.
No, we recorded this in like February 2000.
Really? Okay. Well, no.
So Climate of Fear was out. I
Okay,
remember
okay.
that being a factor.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I think
Climate
it's
of
the
Fear was
first.
07, I'm positive.
I think it's the first 4 tracks we recorded with him, and then the other 2 were kind of demos we had recorded with friends. Do you want to talk about the members?
No, not really. I mean, it's, you know, we had Teddy in the band, you know.
Yeah.
I think Teddy's playing drums on all of them.
Yeah, Teddy's playing drums on every single track here on this record, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that does it for Sidewalk Slam there, you know.
Yeah, and we don't have it on Spotify. We don't have it on YouTube. Maybe one day, but it's not really our sound anymore. You know, we just.
I honestly don't see that happening. I mean,
I don't either.
Yeah, I really don't see any reason or any need for us to put those tracks
It's
on
also
Spotify.
special if you have one of these. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is the you know, they are completely sold out. They're
Yeah, we
all-
never put it on a CD or nothing.
And I
It's
kind of
it.
I like that.
I like
so
that
I
too.
really don't want to ever put it on Spotify. I really don't want to ever put it on Apple Music or
No.
any of those things. I don't want to re-release it. I don't want to play these songs anymore. I think it's just a nice little piece of history to own. And that's our first record, Sidewalk Slam, which is a wrestling reference for anybody who doesn't know that.
We've been down with wrestling.
Since forever, you know.
Yeah,
so.
since we were knee high to a grasshopper.
Yeah.
Maybe we could kind of wrap this up. That's basically our topics for today. We wanted to introduce the show, and we wanted to talk about our first record. And we might go through the records as the episodes progress.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I think that just about does it right there. Once again, I'm Josh J. Hawk Hawkins.
I'm Tim This That Large.
Yo, enjoy the show.